call the meeting to order. We'll start with a prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome, everyone. Dear wise and loving Father, thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of serving the community. I pray you give us freedom to govern, a sense of the true needs of our residents, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony. I pray for the agenda set before us tonight. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live, work in, and around our village of Hicksville. It is in your most blessed name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please, Cheryl.
Baker.
Here.
Bassett.
Yes.
Beverly.
Yes.
Jones.
Here.
Headley.
Here.
Barth.
Here.
Okay. You have in your packet the February 20th regular council meeting minutes. If you would please move to approve those, someone.
I make motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Barth.
Yes.
Headley.
Yes.
Jones.
Abstain.
Beverly.
Abstain.
Bassett.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. You have in your packet a list of the bills for tonight. Does anyone have any questions about those bills?
What is that, 12,000 from EMH&T, what project was that on?
Give me a second to process it. This is March. It would have covered part of January, part of February.
I don't have anything unless anybody else does. I move to approve.
I second that.
Roll call, please.
Baker.
Yes.
Beverly.
Yes.
Headley.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Jones. Barth.
Abstain.
Thank you. You have in your packet minutes for the Planning Commission meeting for February 22nd. It was an application for a lot split submitted by Lifeline Connect Church. It is in regards to a physical address of 223 West Edgerton Street. So, any questions about that? You'll have to ask Kent. Okay. Are there any committees of council that have met and would like to give a report tonight?
Sidewalk. We met right before the meeting and we discussed the $3 for the sidewalk. And we voted and it's still 2-1. So I'll have to have another reading on that. And we talked about the uptown bike riding and we're gonna see about removing the restriction on that. And then anything on the sidewalk? Anybody want to ask any questions or anything?
We're having a second reading on that, did I see? Or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then on
So we met
cemetery.
again, I guess I'm a little
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah,
Met
this
tonight.
morning, yeah, or
Okay,
today.
but second reading.
You have any questions?
Just a second, sure.
And then the cemetery, we hired Kenny Blair and Ron Bauer accepted the job of taking care of the cemetery. Got some pretty
Hired
good
two to
shoes.
replace one?
Yeah,
Same money.
That speaks well of Josh, doesn't it?
that's what I said, that's some pretty big shoes to fill. and
Yeah.
He did a great job,
Yes, he did.
so.
Yeah, he said.
I think these guys will do good though, yeah. We'll see.
Thank you, Sheila. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Sheila regarding her reports for the Cemetery Board and Sidewalk Committee?
No, but I have a question.
Okay.
I see we're starting to do some remodeling in there. I am Sheila is the chairman of this street lighting property. I'm gonna ask the questions that was in my hands when it started. What all are we doing? It never came back to committee, we don't know what's going on. Are we getting new doors? Are we, where are we at on that?
At this point, we're just painting front to rear. Some of the doors are getting paint, some of them aren't, and we'll get a new floor.
No
The
doors?
restrooms are getting,
No front doors or nothing?
not at this point.
Okay.
Any other committee reports from anyone?
This isn't a committee report, this is the time to ask about Sherwood. This be a good time?
You could,
Or wait.
yeah, you could just tell them the meeting that we had.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, Diane, myself, Cheryl, Kim, met with Sherwood officials. And I'm big on sharing services with other towns. They approached us about doing their income tax from Sherwood to come to here. And so we just met, and I didn't take it to the finance committee, but they're willing to pay us 5% of what they collect. And Kim is all right with it. She's got, won't cost any more money for us, so it'll be some more extra income. Try it for a year. 5% of what they take in, plus any expenses. The software's 3,000?
It's 1,700.
Okay. And postage and any expenses like that, so we'll get a little more money.
So that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But if the state gets their way,
I know.
they're gonna collect it.
Do they have an income tax, is that?
Yes, 1%,
What
just
about
like
their,
us.
is it also utilities or just their tax?
It's
Just
just
their
their
tax.
income tax. Currently, they're having Regional Income Tax Association,
Is that what it's
RITA,
called?
they
RITA.
call
RITA,
it,
yeah.
collecting,
Authority.
and they're very unhappy with them.
They have no public, no service.
Right.
People, they call and they get nobody in. So we thought we'd try it for a year, so I just want council's blessing or vote. Troy, do you need a vote on that, or?
We probably need to, I mean, you get their blessing, we probably need to enter into some contract regarding the services, and that would be something that would have to be approved.
What's their base? I mean, 1,000, 500? How many people?
Cheryl, do you remember how much they thought they were collecting?
It was a lot, like 95,000.
Okay.
And with Kim, they'll probably collect more. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a win-win, share the services, no more expenses for us, it's not gonna cost us more manpower. She said she could handle it, so.
If you think you want a motion, but the solicitor probably should bring something back.
Yeah,
I don't
we
have
Well, we
a,
have to come up with a
And
contract.
we won't be doing it this tax season. They'll continue to get their service with Rita through this tax season, and then they would love it if we would do it for.
Well, to make you feel good, Ron, it's straw vote. Mike's good with it, I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Mike?
And you're gonna make the contact, say the contract is coming, so. Okay.
I guess Troy will have to get a hold of the mayor of Sherwood and work on
Yeah,
something
the mayor
for
was
it.
here, the administrator, tax person, no, they don't have a tax person.
Finance officer.
Finance, yeah. So,
wait a minute, you stand to gain 5%, $5,000, so.
yeah.
And I think, having a personal service available to their residents is just a 10-minute drive over here, and, we could.
And they may
help
stop
them
and
out.
eat lunch, I guess, so.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
all righty. Sound good, Troy?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any other council committee reports? Okay, Administrator Kent Miller, fill us in with everything you know.
I'd be censored. Yeah, the biggest thing you need to get out to the public's the next general pickup. And people will probably be setting stuff out already, but it's April 4th and 5th. So it's still another month away. And we're still sending letters to people that are putting things out early to move them, or we'll charge them for it. So it's April 4th and 5th. And I just put in the last 3 years of the trash figures, just to give you an idea of what we pick up every week in every general pickup. I guess based on that, you got a hard time convincing me the economy's bad. the amount of tonnage we pick up, the stuff that people throw out because they're buying new stuff. But anyway, it's just there for your information.
You didn't have the breakdown though, what comes from Sherwood and Harlan and Newville and.
Well, yeah. I couldn't break that down either. Otherwise, it's just basically a list of travels for me and the employees coming up here in March and April. I'm 99% sure at this point my Columbus trip this Wednesday is going to be canceled. But I might have an extra one thrown in March later on. But if you wonder why I'm out of the office a lot here in March, it's for business, it's not for fun by a long shot. I could deputize you if you want. Take a no-dose with you too. So now if there's no questions, that's it for me.
And I got a question, Kit. When you send, let's say if somebody sends out a couch or something and you send them a letter, you give them a week, 2 weeks to either remove it or you send your crew out, just so people know maybe if they are putting stuff out, are we gonna charge them when we do pick up?
Oh, yeah. I forget if it's 3 or 7 days. Mike handles all that. He sends them the letter. If it's still out, we'll pick it up and we'll add $75 to their water bill.
I know, I've noticed a lot more
Yeah.
out there.
As soon as it started getting warm,
Trash,
people
right.
just started throwing stuff out.
And they have to know if it's gonna sit out there past that point, we'll pick it up, but they're gonna get billed for it. Or they can take it to the landfill themselves.
I noticed this weekend riding around, a lot of places, it's just thrown out their back door, but a couple of them live on a corner, so, I mean, stacked as high as this ceiling, just trash.
I think we're gonna have a whopper this time. More than usual. I really do. I'm pretty sure I know 2 houses for sure that are gonna get emptied. They're not rentals. No, we'll have our usual rentals, but these 2 don't happen to be rentals. I think people are just waiting for us to have it, and then that's when they'll.
Are you still thinking about changing how we do garbage collection?
That was something I want water and sewer to think about. If we, I mean, might as well say it here, if we go back to picking everything up every week, I think you're gonna have us doing trash 2.5 days a week. If people don't mind that, yeah, we can do it, but that eats up time we could be doing something else. It's not slowing down any, and I think it was 2 weeks ago in the Crescent, Warren had an article about the landfill receipts are gone through the roof because the good economy, people have money, they're throwing things away, buying new.
Have we ever gotten any quotes from anybody to see if they'd come in and take our system over, buy our truck and get out of the garbage business?
Mayor Haver started to. I don't know if some of the companies got back to him before his term was up or not.
And I had talked to Reliable
Yeah.
and Whirler, called them several times, more on the recycling side of things, and then we started talking about taking over services. Reliable was interested at one time, but then they just, every time I call, they would call or wouldn't call, and they're not, they said they were hungry, was interested in our business, but they never came back to the table.
I think what we would need to do is write up a request for proposal and mail them out, you know.
She was actually interested.
Yes, do
I
it.
think it'd be very advantageous for us to do that. I mean, the garbage truck is one of the things that makes money, and it's a decent rate for consumers. But still, that 2.5 days that he's got his guys doing that, there's certainly a lot of other things that need repaired here in this town besides running that garbage truck.
We would have somebody else collect it. Would we still collect the money? How's that work?
It depends on the private company and how they want to handle it. I'm assuming they'd rather have us collect it and pay them, but,
$10,
you know.
they'll get collected somewhat. Probably cost more to have it.
We've talked about that. It never came to fruition, you know. There's some pros and cons to it. Until we would do something, though, I would lean more to 2.5 day pickup as to have these big collections every year.
Oh, yeah, I would favor that also, but I still think we ought to check into,
Yeah,
see if we're cost savings.
but it has to, like the mayor said, you know, they can put together some proposal or something on paper and send it
Can we
out.
authorize Kent to do that in his spare time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not gonna cost anything to find out what it would do to the consumers.
There's basically three companies around here right now that do that service near us, to the south, and I can't remember the name, but, they do Antwerp and Continental out of that. It used to be S&S.
Well, them guys from
Real
Archville,
waste.
they come down this
Real.
far too.
Real Waste, Whirler, and
Right. Is it Reliable? Or Republic?
Republic, that's the third one.
Republic's,
I'm sorry, Republic's the one I talked to.
Archville, who's over there,
That's part of Whirler.
is it Archville
Is it
Refuse?
RES or something? They're a branch of.
Somebody just bought Republic.
Allied Waste and Republic are kind of, at least when it comes to our sludge at the sewer plant.
that's out of Bryan, right?
Can't tell you that right off, I'd have to go look at one of the invoices.
Is it the town of Antwerp that has whoever they want, and every day
No,
is
they,
Summer's Day?
within the past year, they've
Sherwood.
put together a set of.
Sherwood's that way?
Sherwood just had in the newspaper that they had 3 different companies coming to their town
So
to pick
Yeah, their
garbage.
people do it willy-nilly.
They're gonna try to get one. They're
We
gonna
ought to
try to
share
put
it.
out bids.
Everyone's got a
got-
smaller town around here and share the truck. Not the guy,
Just a shit.
not, make,
Well, I guess it's something you can think
You
about.
know, they're
Average
probably
truck sits
putting a
there.
request for proposal together. You might not need to, create one from scratch, but I'm sure you can
no, I'm
find
just throwing some things out there.
samples from other places too. Don't make it hard on yourself.
Because it sits there for what, 3 days?
But whoever does this needs to consume our truck.
Yes, get rid of it. But it is a moneymaker, like you said.
Yeah, I'll try to get something. together.
Wonderful.
Okay. Any other questions for Kent? Okay, may we have a solicitor's report, please?
Sure. First thing I have is ordinance 2017-05, second reading by caption only. An ordinance to repeal existing chapter 909 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Hicksville, Ohio, to establish a new chapter 909 addressing the replacement and repair of sidewalks.
This vote will come up next meeting. Please make sure you read it good.
Next is ordinance 2017-06, second reading by caption only, an ordinance authorizing cooperative agreement for construction, maintenance, and operation of a wastewater collection system improvements project between the Village of Hicksville and the Ohio Wastewater Development Authority and declaring an emergency.
I move we suspend the rules.
I'll second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and seconded. Roll call, please, Cheryl.
Baker,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Beverly,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Headley,
Yes,
Barth.
Yes.
So then, third reading of ordinance 2017-06 by caption only, an ordinance authorizing cooperative agreement for construction, maintenance, and operation of a wastewater collection system improvements project between the Village of Hicksville and the Ohio Wastewater Development Authority and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
second.
Roll call, please.
Barth,
Yes.
Headley,
Yes,
Jones.
Yes.
Beverly,
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2017-07, first reading by caption only, an ordinance directing the Defiance County Board of Elections to submit a ballot question to the electors authorizing an additional tax levy for fire protection services and emergency medical services. And that's just the second part of that. If you see, the auditor's office provided the information that we had to get about the current tax valuation for the village and the amount that the levy would generate. So then this is the next step in getting the Board of Elections. Then, Resolution 2017-03, second reading by caption only, a resolution for the Village of Hicksville, Ohio to enter into a contract with Vernon Noggle, Inc. for the Bryan Street, Main Street Sewer Project, and declaring an emergency.
I move we suspend the rules.
second.
Roll call, please.
Beverly, Jones.
Yes.
Headley,
Yes,
Barth,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Third reading of Resolution 2017-03 by caption only, a resolution for the Village of Hicksville, Ohio to enter into a contract with Vernon Noggle, Inc. for the Bryan Street, Main Street Sewer Project and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Headley,
Yes?
Barth,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Beverly,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Next is Resolution 2017-04, the first reading, or I'm sorry, second reading by caption only, a resolution of the Village of Hicksville, Ohio, to enter into a contract with EMH&T Inc. to provide additional construction phase engineering services for implementation of Phase 1 of the long-term control plan and declaring an emergency. And if you see the difference, Kent and I talked about that in both in the Section 1 and in the last whereas paragraph. We've changed that to where they gave us the price for 6 months and then an additional monthly price if up to an additional 2 months is necessary.
I like the way this is written.
Still don't agree with it.
And we need to bring it for,
Why do you have to have that in there, the extra 29,000 per month? After 6 months? I don't agree with the 125,000.
No.
can you bring it for a vote tonight?
Probably should, because we're gonna need,
For the good or the bad, yeah.
yeah, we're kinda running out of time.
Well, but you don't need to have the vote tonight. It's your first reading.
Second
It's a
reading.
second
Second
reading,
reading.
actually.
Emergency.
Yeah, we don't, but we're saying we're running out of time. If we wait another 2 weeks and then we vote it down and then we gotta
Find
find
a
somebody
different
else and
contract.
start going from scratch.
And you don't know if it's gonna be that much different.
Right.
No.
Oh, it could be more.
Yep.
There's no limit.
You're gonna pay one or the other.
You know, I don't like it, but we're kind of trapped.
And I talked to them the night before council, and they know we're upset. They know we don't like the contract, and,
Well, that's self-evident when they went from 204 to 125.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do that, somewhere the things aren't quite right in the woodpile.
Right. Well, if you do all the math, it still adds up to.
It's still- they're still-
184, yeah,
yeah,
because
I
it's
mean-
deducted.
Right.
we all,
we're just-
But
the
they're saying
numbers
it's
haven't
just
changed
what
much.
they're on.
If the contractor can get done 2 months quicker, they won't need that.
For
2 months.
$30,000 a month, for that guy to stand there and watch them put pipe in, and then he goes over to Todd and says, Todd, how many sections of pipe you put in? And Todd tells him, and he writes it down, his paperwork's done. Billy Laney could do that for us,
I think it's more than that, Ron.
not
I mean,
a
they-
lot more.
But I had made.
In there.
Like, a couple of you weren't to the last meeting. I had made some calls without going into the particulars.
2 other engineering firms.
Yeah, just to kind of get a feel, and some didn't feel like we'd be paying too much less than what we'd be paying, so I guess I'm still not happy either, but if we're burning that bridge, we gotta get moving quick, because somebody's gotta sit down and rank firms, and that always ends up being a pain in the neck.
How costly is that?
We have no idea.
Well, yeah, so you're not gonna get a price from
We're
them.
gonna rank a firm like we did with the water tower or these projects to begin with. I mean, we have no idea what they're gonna charge us to get up to speed.
Because we're not
with
asking
these
for
two.
money, we're ranking them on, can they do the job? And then after that, if we think company X could do the best job, then you negotiate a contract.
I move we suspend.
So we're right in the middle of projects, it's,
I'll move to suspend.
But what you're saying is it's probably gonna cost more than going the route if we don't okay this.
even if we end up paying the same amount, is it worth the added hassle and headache?
Well, a new engineer would have to catch up on everything.
Yeah,
And there would
you're
be
gonna
a
have
cost
that.
there. The engineers you spoke to, if I understood you correctly, thought that it's in the ballpark. The monthly fee is in the
Yeah.
ballpark.
I said, I'm still not happy with it, but I think it's the lesser of two.
We have not had this.
No.
Cheryl has pointed it out to me that we should have read the contract better, but we have not had, even when Pogemeyer was here doing everything, when they told you it was 350,000, you got the prints, you got the inspections, you got it all. And now, we've got the prints, we've got the project, and they're coming back going, well, we need this and we need that, and here we sat going, okay, it's too much of a hassle to say no. Well, if that money, if $189,000 was coming out of my pocket, I'm gonna say the exact same thing I'm gonna say tonight. No.
Did I just hear you say that's in the contract?
Yes.
Well, that throws a little different light on it.
Can you elaborate, Cheryl?
No.
Or can, there's a phrase in there that says that,
Something about the time frame.
I have never seen where
If it
you
wasn't
can
done within a
charge
6-month
just
timeframe,
because
they
it's
could
a
charge
different
a
month.
monthly fee to get up, so the project was completed, but that'd be an
You-
additional cost.
You charge by actual work time. These guys are charging by the month.
Mhm.
Whether we're turning dirt or what we're doing, it's this much a month.
Well, I think they're charging by the actual work time. They got their guy keeping track of, and if they finish on August 15th, you're not paying a full month of August, you're paying whatever his actual work time was, August 1 to August 15th.
Isn't that why we had that $75 or $70,000 credit?
The carryover.
We're still working off the carryover.
Well, I sat beside Roberta in that meeting 2 weeks ago, and she said she's never seen anything like this, and she would not go for it. And because I told her, you know, this is wrong. I don't care how you look at it, I don't care, it might work out on paper that it's right, it might be a little phrase in the contract that how you interpret it, it comes out right, but this is wrong.
Well, I agree and disagree because
You can't do them both.
if they tell you it's $184,000 and they get the project done in 9 months, 10 months, and they charge you $185,000, that's one thing. If they get it done in 2 months and they charge you $185,000, I don't think that's fair. That they're charging you per month. So they're crediting us money if it doesn't take the full term. If you're at a set rate for the whole time, you're stuck paying that amount no matter how long it took them.
But do you understand
Well, I've never done this before either. All my contracts is a set
what's
price.
going on, and like with Main Street, from what I'm told by Scott Nagel, the depths and things, and the dirt that needs moved on Haver, you get a wet spring, and it's gonna be August before you even start finishing dirt.
Well, see, contractor's got 100, well, we haven't signed anything for South Main, so I'll just stick to Clearview since that's the active one. If we have a typhoon from now through the end of their 180 days, underground utilities on the hook to get that done. They've got 180 days regardless. It would be nice if they could
You don't
get.
have no rain days or anything.
No. I'd look back and say they wasted all of January and half of February till they ever started, so don't cry to me that it rained all March, April, May, and June.
But they are making pretty good progress. I think for what I've seen, they're
They're
not
not.
doing too.
That's not, no.
You don't
they're
think
not.
so?
No.
I thought they were.
But be that as it may, they've got their 180 days regardless. I still think originally last year in 2016, as far as with the MHT, they were assuming everything was gonna get done during that 6 months, and that's how they budgeted, that's how they came up with their 2 initial contracts. They just figured way too low. I think that's all it boils down to.
There was no way 5 projects were gonna get done in 2016.
Well, this
Not
all goes
feasible.
back to the
That's what
guy
they kept
that,
Especially when they held the paperwork up on us, which kept us from getting $150,000 grant that we didn't have to pay back. That was their problem. So they in a sense, they took $150,000 from us. And that was in the same meeting when they wanted another 184, 189. Somewhere it's gotta quit. You just gotta say, hey, we can't do it, boys.
We have a motion on the table. Ron Jones made a motion to approve this.
No, suspend the rules.
Oh, suspend the rules, I'm sorry.
Big difference.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
second that.
Okay. Roll call, please, to suspend the rules.
Bassett,
Yes.
Beverly,
No.
Jones,
Yes.
Headley,
Yes.
Barth,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Third reading and caption, or resolution 2017-04 by caption only. A resolution of the Village of Hicksville to enter into a contract with EMH&T Inc. to provide additional construction phase engineering services for implementation of phase 1 of the long-term control plan and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jones.
Yes.
Headley.
No.
Barth.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Beverly.
No. And resolution 2017-05, second reading by caption only. A resolution strongly opposing the state of Ohio governor's proposed 2017-2018 budget, which proposes centralized collection of net profit tax returns and other provisions related to the municipal income tax, which will cause a substantial loss of revenue needed to support the health, safety, welfare, and economic development efforts of Ohio municipalities and declaring an emergency.
Suspend the rules, move to suspend the rules.
I got a question on that. That's the whole budget that we're voting against, or just that part of it?
I mean, I think the way it's worded is, it's the portion of his budget that,
Okay, because it reads here.
it does his proposed budget, but
Just that.
that part of the
Okay.
proposed budget.
I second that.
Roll call, please.
Headley.
Yes.
Barth.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Beverly.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
So third reading resolution 2017-05 by caption only, a resolution strongly opposing the state of Ohio governor's proposed 2017-2018 budget, which proposes centralized collection of net profit tax returns and other provisions related to the municipal income tax, which will cause a substantial loss of revenue needed to support the health, safety, welfare, and economic development efforts of Ohio municipalities and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baker.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Beverly.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Headley.
Yes.
Barth.
Yes.
Senator Height was here today, and I spoke to him about our dissatisfaction in them considering centralized collection, and so,
Is he in favor of it?
no, he's not in favor of it. So anyway, Troy, would you please give us an update on Haynes Trucking, please?
Yeah, Diane and I met with Rodney Haynes last Thursday. Is that the day, Diane?
Sounds about right?
Wednesday, Thursday. He actually called Diane and asked if he could meet with her, and she asked me if I would come along. Short part of the story, we got all the documents signed, that whole business where there was some corrections that needed made to his loan documents and stuff, and we got all those signed. The other part of the story, he tells us that he's still having difficulty getting drivers, and that I can't remember, Diane, can't remember that. I think he said he'd hired, since he's been here, well over 20.
30, I think.
30,
he said.
yeah, 30, and any, people leaving or not working out or coming down, that he's down to 2 right now.
Because Ernest just left
Ernest,
to go back to Texas, yeah.
And Ernest was evidently the person that was here that was, I don't forget the term he used for
Yeah.
his job. I mean, it must be something.
Transportation
Something in
supervisor,
the
I don't know.
business, there's a special
Yeah.
term for him, but
Kept the trucks running.
yeah, Ernest is, and so we asked him about the building. I mean, we did talk about that, and what he basically said was he had a substantial amount of money in the parking lot and putting that in there and putting that pad out there. And then when he was having problems keeping trucks on the road, and he had money in trucks that he bought or whatever, that he kind of decided to put that on hold until he got the rest of it worked out. But if he needed to, particularly as it pertains to his revolving loan, if he needed to pay off the note or whatever because of that, he would make whatever arrangements, and he'd hope that we would work with him. His intentions are still to make it a go here in Hicksville, and he was visiting customers and talking to the people out at FWT and hoping, he's always looking for more drivers. I think he was even meeting with somebody that day that was a prospective driver here out of Hicksville, but that's kind of the update. He's not planning on going anywhere. He's not
And
trying
he
to shirk his
doesn't really
responsibility.
have a need for the building since he hasn't got the trucks
Right.
rolling and an office here. He doesn't need it. And
He recognizes his responsibilities and isn't trying to avoid them or, pull something over on somebody. So that's kind of it.
Thank you.
I seen on that revolving loan sheet, did, the one that was behind so far, did that get paid off? Oh, it did?
Yeah, it's been
It's been quite a while.
5 or 6 months probably now.
Okay.
Ron, you mentioned a couple meetings ago about the sign out there. There should be a quote coming soon. Tony, I just wanted to send an email, so everybody's on board to do that, right?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was ordered.
I don't know, last email, he's supposed to get a price, I don't think it's been ordered, from Harmon Signs.
I guess there's no way that could be that pricey that we can't just authorize him to get it coming.
Yeah, but I don't think we've gotten a price yet.
Does anyone have anything else? Any questions from the solicitor before we go on? Anything else, Troy?
No.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming to Hicksville when I needed you to last week. Okay, we are going on to the department heads. Welcome our new police chief, Kirk Stickney. Do you have a report for council?
I don't have anything to report tonight, no.
Okay. The department heads and I are gonna meet Wednesday morning in my office with Kirk so that we can all just kind of discuss, how we can help each other out in the departments and so. And then fire chief, Scott Kramer.
We've got a few things to go over here coming up. Saturday, March 18th, we're having pancake and sausage breakfast, 7-Eleven at the station. And Sunday, April 2nd, we're trying something new with a spaghetti lunch over at the station. And next Tuesday, Bruce Hart and I will be going to Cleveland for class.
All right. I believe that I asked Scott Elwood to come today. And Scott, would you please come up here? And Scott Elwood and Scott Kramer, I guess, be. Yes, come right on up here. Scott, I want to thank you for your years of service as a volunteer fireman. I see that you've been with us 23 years and you're retiring, and we just want to thank you for your service. It's guys like you that have really helped Hicksville out, and we just want to tell you how much we appreciate what you've done for us. And Scott Kramer wasn't really too knowledgeable about me inviting you to the meeting tonight till the very last minute, but we want to thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Chief, do you have anything else then?
No, and I don't have anything for EMS tonight.
Okay, thank you. I see we have an EMS report. That's great. So you have your EMS report in the packet. There's 2 pages. And then we are going to go
Can I ask you
to,
a question, Mayor?
yes,
On the very top line here, 210 to 216 on the open bills. Has that been turned into collection, or is it been through collection and nothing happened, or?
because Cheryl did billing before me, I think she could probably answer that better than I did, but I believe that's just uncollected stuff we're carrying over from Medicaid, Medicare.
Things that we'll never get the money no matter what.
No,
So periodically, I know that we used to write that off and just get it out of the books. Do we want to consider that?
yeah, we can.
The benefit of this report kind of shows you how much we go in the hole with the EMS and our billing and collections and everything. It gives you a pretty true picture of
It's an ugly picture.
how unprofitable having an EMS is, but, we gotta have it. Nobody's denying that.
Right. I just thought maybe it was we can eliminate all these numbers and the girls don't have to carry them forward all the time like we've done periodically before, just kind of clean house.
Cheryl will take care of that. All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the department heads? Okay. We will do the fiscal officer's report.
The first report you have is the cash month-to-date, year-to-date report, and as the mayor pointed out to me, oops, I got carried away and gave you the first one in May instead of the last one for February. So you see a bunch of zeros in there, but the numbers have rolled over into the year-to-date. You then have the revolving loan report. And everyone is current, and we have two of them that after you see them a couple times, they both paid off, I'll drop them off the report.
Good.
And you have the income tax report for the first 2 months, and the February Police Department collections, and the Mayor's Court, which looks really good this time.
Any questions for Cheryl? Thank you. You have in your packet, up near the end of your packet, a public notice that we got, and it said to mayor and council, and that's why I asked it to be included in your packet. I'm not sure anybody really cares, but you might have read in the Defiance Crescent last week that the mayor of Defiance, Mayor McCann, Fire Chief Bill Wilkins, and Cindy Mack of the Defiance Area Chamber invited their downtown business owners, and actually our chamber and myself, to go to Defiance and hear some discussions on the building code compliance, and what they would like to do is to, they talked about the developmental spaces in the downtown businesses and how they can go about that and improve their downtown. And I really appreciated the fact that they allowed the Hicksville Chamber members that wanted to come listen to it also, and myself, because I know I hear all the time that it's such a problem to improve anything in a commercial building, so it was informative. Still sounds like a big process. So, anyway. I see that, did you put this packet in the paper, Kent, of the long-term control plan? Construction phases? Who did that?
That was the updated
Contract.
Okay.
sheet of the one.
The second page, the one that had 125,000.
Okay, all right. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that would like to speak to council or address council? Yes.
It's been a few, it's still be real quick, it's been a few weeks since we had a meeting with the Haver Drive residents out there about what's going to be taking place out there on Haver Drive. And I do realize it's going to take several months before the project's going to be complete. But this question is from Mike Barth. We did discuss after that meeting about what we can and cannot do with the swells out there. Have you started anything like anything at all on it? I know, like I said, it's going to be several months, but has there been any discussion what's going to be done out there? Because there's people out there saying, can we do this? Can we do that out there?
Yeah. We got a water and sewer meeting next Monday at 4 o'clock here, and we're gonna address, we got a garbage issue to address. Kit wanted us to address ordinances pertaining to the swales, not just there, but other areas of town. So once we finalize what we can do, after it's done, we don't want anybody redigging up those swells or blocking any of the approaches or anything. So, yeah, we are addressing that. And like I said, once they keep moving with the project, I know it's a lot of mud, gravel. We had taken notice this week with the stones in the road, big piles of stone. We had currently asked them to put markers by them, especially in the evening when it gets dark, to watch the pedestrians driving through that area. But Yeah, we have to address the
I do have
ordinance.
some people out there, like I said, the neighbors, and everything else out there, and like I said, one concern out there is also them guys with big dozers out there are going up and down there quite fast. And you do have kids sit down and you drop the kids off down at that Haver Drive out by Hicksville Miller.
Right.
And they're walking the length of Haver Drive to get home. And them guys going up down with those things, you know, as fast as what they are. I mean, I walk the dog, I've had a couple tell me, because they want to come up to me, say something to the council about the speed out there with these guys. They said, it's, you know, it's kind of scary. So I said, I'll mention, you know.
Yeah, like I said, with the amount of public and pedestrians, like you said, and the kids, those guys in those big pieces of equipment really gotta watch what they're doing. And I hope the neighbors kind of take heed to what's going on out there too. We can't patrol it and police it, you know, 24/7, but, we gotta make sure that, they're well aware of when it's dropped off and the traffic flow through there, so. I know Ron is our, residential liaison between the MHT. I talked to him the other day, and if you want his phone number, you can call him directly. He's with the MHT, he should be out there when they're working.
Main office?
Well, we're paying him big bucks when he's, well, he should be out there during construction, I mean,
He's there.
yeah. And if you see those rigs moving pretty quick out there, you know, you need to let him know. Because he's the one that's gonna talk to them, of course, and address their concerns and issues.
Right, faster.
I'm sure you gotta be.
I just wanted to tell you one more thing. Last week, you know, some of the businesses in town and residents, in fact, have had complaints about the telephone service with Frontier. We had a meeting here last week with Kathy Shaver from Bob Latta's office, and county commissioners, and myself, and a couple other people. And we, you know, discussed with Frontier the problems that were taking place in town, and of course, it's all equipment problems and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like, you know, we won't give up on trying to get the Frontier phone service improved in the Hicksville area, because it's really affecting some of our businesses in a negative way. So we got to get it taken care
Well,
of.
if we get Bob Latta engaged, that'll be a big help.
Yeah. So anyway, anything else from anybody? Thank you for coming. Again, Scott Elwood, if you're here, thank you. Oh, I think Mike has something to say too.
Yeah. Scouts called earlier, we wanted to remind everybody, scouting for food is currently on. You should have a bag tied to your door handle at your residence. If you do not have one, they ran out, so they were asking people to grab a plastic bag if they have one in-house, put the food back out by their front door or their porch. They are picking up food this coming Saturday. They're starting at 9:00 a.m. and then going around town collecting food for that project. All that food goes back to Christ Cupboard here locally,
That's
so.
cans, right?
Cans, yes, yeah, things of that nature. So they want to let people know, as many as possible, that they are collecting food this week, and they will pick it up this coming Saturday after 9 a.m. That's it.
Thank you, Mike. All right, well,
I'll second.
all right, roll call, please.
Barth,
Yes.
Headley,
Yes.
Jones, Beverly,
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Baker.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
I don't.